Yeah, Jambo. My name is Eric Mbai. I'm the director, Eminent Merchants Limited, a car importing company based in Meru. We are located in Meru along the Mau Highway, just after Kenya Methodist University. Personally, I was born and brought up in Meru, just within this ward called Nyaki West, in a place called Runogone, and attended school just within. High school, I joined Meru School, and then I later on joined Moi University, where I did a course called Hotel and Hospitality Management. But later on in life, within the course of my life, I worked for a local university as a lecturer. But due to the passion that had grown in me since I was a kid, of the liking and the passion in terms of motor vehicle business, I decided to venture in this business in the year 2019. The passion was brought forward by the many exhibitions that I used to attend as a kid with my father, especially during the ASK show. And along the Meru Makutano Highway, there used to be a motor vehicle selling company used to be called Krita Motors. They used to sell zero mileage cars back in the 90s. So I used to admire visiting that place, and my dad could take me there just to see the vehicles, and also CMC Motors. Yeah, CMC Motors. One time we lived in town, and we used to stay just next to CMC Motors, and we could frequent there as young boys in high school just to see the vehicles that were stocked there. So that's how my passion for vehicles grew since I was a boy, and now I am here doing it as a business.
Please tell us how you came up with the idea to start a car selling business.
First of all, as I've said, the idea for doing this business commercially came up in 2019 in the month of April. Yeah, I'm sure April. But the passion for vehicle trade began in 2015. I bought a vehicle for personal use. It was a Toyota Fielder, 1800cc Toyota Fielder. I bought it at around 900,000. And I sold it for a margin of, I made almost 70,000 by selling that vehicle in 2015. So I thought it was a good idea. So from that time, I started buying my own cars and selling them, not commercially. I was just doing it as a passion. So I buy a car. If somebody tells me that I have a nice car, I just tell them, if you're interested, I can sell it off to you. Then I go ahead and repurchase another one. Then at the same time, I was importing vehicles for family members and friends for free. And that is what made me know a lot about motor vehicle importation. I would just do it for free for family and friends. And before I started doing commercial importation of vehicles in 2019, I had imported more than 30 cars for family members and friends. So one of my relatives just requested me, why don't you do this thing commercially? That was in 2019. And my father got me my first client in 2019, whom I imported a Toyota Probox for. And from that day, I took it as a serious business. And I've been doing it not without a physical location like this one. I was doing it online and storing the vehicles at home. But this year, last year, which was 2023, in the month of February, I decided to set up this yard. And so that I can be able to do this business full time and have a place where I can be able to stock cars. At least where I can be able to store more than 10 to 15 cars, and also to have an office where people can visit us and find us here as a physical location. So that is how we came about, and here we are.
Did you have any challenges, or were there any challenges that you faced when you began this business?
The first car I bought was previously I owned second-hand used cars. Like every young person will start with a second-hand old car. My first car was a Toyota Carina, which I bought in 2013. I think so. Yeah, 2013, and later on I sold it, and then bought the Fielder. That time I was, I think I was 30 years or so. The issue of capital, especially for some businesses, I can say there are some people who make fun when people say that they started their businesses without capital, or where people make fun in Swahili and say that nilianzia biashara ya kuuza kuku na manyoya. Those theories are true. Personally, I did not start my business with any capital. How it started is just, I used to work as an agent, or what people might call a broker. So somebody tells me, do this for me. I do it, and I do it honestly. Then I accumulated money, and I accumulated capital. At the same time, I was employed for many years, for almost 13 years. I've been working somewhere, and I've been saving money that I've used to stock this yard that I'm having currently. But to the genesis of this business, there was no capital. It's just a matter of you being sent, you are paid a commission, you save that commission, almost 90% of it, because you're also working somewhere. This was a side hustle. So you keep on saving that commission until you're able to accumulate money to buy your own car that you can be able to resell now at a margin of your choice, or what you call willing buyer, willing seller. So generally, most of the services, you don't have to have capital. You just start. And then from there, out of your own hard work, referrals that you'll be getting, you'll be able to accumulate money with time, not a matter of 1 year. I'm talking about like 5 years. You accumulate money, pole pole, then now you can be able to set up a business.
What steps have you taken to improve customer service and build long-term relationships with your clients?
Anybody who tries to buy something from overseas the first time, the anxiety is so tough, so deep. Sometimes you don't sleep. You start imagining all sorts of things, like even those people are conmen. You start imagining that the ship might sink in the high seas and you lose your car. So the first vehicle I purchased, like I've said, the first previous cars that I owned were second-hand cars that I just bought locally from other people. But the first car I purchased, which I purchased in Japan directly, I can tell you the anxiety was extremely very high. Sometimes I could not even sleep properly. I kept on tracking the ship using the links that used to be provided by the shipper. It was not easy. If the shipper never, sometimes I would just call the shipper to confirm something, and if they don't answer my phone, it becomes terrible and terrifying. So the process is not easy, especially for the first timer. And by the time I was now doing this business commercially, I was used to, and I knew that everything is going to work, and I knew all the processes, and I knew all the genuine shippers that I could approach for them to be able to supply me with a car. But to be honest, it's not something which is very simple for somebody who is buying the first car for their first time, or they are importing their first car. So that's the reason why we come in. We carry for you the baggage. We carry for you the anxiety. You transfer the risk to us, because you sign an agreement with us, so you are sure that you are going to get your vehicle. You don't have to have sleepless night. You don't have to worry where the vehicle is. You just wait for the date that I tell you, that that's the day that your vehicle is going to arrive at the port of Mombasa. This is the date that I'm going to deliver the vehicle for you in Kenya. So that January. So it's not an easy, it's not something that I can say is just very simple, especially if it is the first time you're doing it. Motor vehicle business requires a lot of extreme honesty and openness. And this is because this is a capital intensive investment, even for the purchaser, the clients. And also the industry is loaded with a lot of people who are not honest. And also crooks, or what we can say conmen pia wako. There are many in the market. So for you to stand out in this market, first of all, honesty is number one. And through honesty and openness, you attract a lot of referrals. And exactly that is what has kept us moving up to where we are. We cannot brag that we have really done a lot in terms of where we are. We can only thank the people who are pioneer, people who purchased vehicles from us from 2009, even some people who are important for them vehicles for free at no fees back between 2015 and 2019. Many of them referred people to us who came in and bought, shipped or important vehicles through us commercially, and they paid us a commission. So that is the key thing that I can say. That's how we began, which has been pushing us. And I repeat again, it's all about honesty and being open. That's what I can say has taken us to where we are.
Has there been a particular time when your car business experienced significant success? And would you be so kind to share that success?
Number one, yes, I can never regret, or I can never say I made any mistake, or I can never say that I will ever think of any other business besides this. If we don't get any state interference, maybe the government that doesn't change the rules in terms of importation of vehicles or selling of used cars, I don't think I can change this business. I can be honest to say that our breakthrough came during COVID-19. During COVID-19, miracles happened. And that is when our breakthrough came through. That is when many people got to know about us. Number one is because people used to be at home. People used to be always on social media. And we got an opportunity to get a breakthrough during that time. If you can remember very well, during the time that there was the borders in Mombasa and Nairobi, people are not crossing over or leaving Mombasa or Nairobi, we took that opportunity that people are not traveling to Nairobi, people are not traveling to Mombasa to buy vehicles as they used to do, and many people believed in us. We imported for them vehicles in masses. Number two, that time during COVID, the vehicles were cheaper in Japan. So we shipped a lot of vehicles during that period. And it gave us a very big exposure. Many people got to know about us. And we are still riding on the same customer base that we created during COVID-19. That was in 2020. I don't say I thank God for that because other people suffered and other businesses went down. But it was when our breakthrough came through. And I don't think even now we have made the target that we made during COVID-19. We can't even meet those targets. The margin that we made in terms of sales, the number of vehicles that we sold during 2020, even now we can't even get to half of the numbers per year that we made during that period of between 2020 March or February to almost 2021 there. We made a lot of sales. And that is when many people got to know about us in Meru and other parts of the country.
How do you identify and address changes in the automotive industry to stay competitive?
Definitely, yes. In any industry, there is what we call peak seasons and low seasons. I'll start with low seasons. Low seasons for motor vehicles start from the month of April to almost July. Sales there are very low. But starting from the month of October, people start importing vehicles. There is this mentality of Kenyans that nataka gari kabla ya Christmas. That is a very popular saying, and a lot of sales and a lot of impulse buying happen during that time. And sales continues all the way to the month of April. Especially also people want to go for Easter with cars. So that's the reason you can see we have a number of vehicles here we have stocked. And we are still importing a number of them for the purposes of meeting those demand, that the demand season which happens between the month of October and the month of April every year. So they are the low seasons and now they are the peak seasons. Just like any other season, for like the way we have schools, bookshops have their seasons, and people selling clothes, they have their season. Also, as we have our own seasons. And if you're not careful during those seasons, if you don't have money, if you don't have rotating capital, you'll be in trouble, because there will be seasons where you are selling almost nothing per week. Yes.